Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Thunder's comic book review bi-monthly party jamboree. I was going to record this one today anyways, but then my good friend, you might not know him, his name is Lightning, he, without me telling him that I was going to do my comic book thing today, called me and was like, hey, I want to go comic book shopping tomorrow. You in? And I was like, of course I'm in. Not only do I have a lot to talk about today, but I was actually able to buy everything that I'm going to be talking about today. I had a list of stuff I wanted to buy today, and I only managed to not get one of them, and I didn't even want to talk about that one. So I made out pretty good today. So first things first, and the most important thing to me personally, it is Pride Month. I'm actually uploading this on the last day of Pride Month. That was not intentional. But because it was Pride Month, and technically still is Pride Month, DC and Marvel have been doing their Pride events. This is the DC one. It's hard to see, but, you know, maybe I'll block my face a bit so you can see it a little better. So I haven't read the Marvel one. I actually just found out about it yesterday. But I did read this one, and I own it, and I got the variant cover as well with my girls, Harley and Ivy, on there. But, yeah, the whole point of this collection is that it's LGBT writers and artists writing stories about LGBT superheroes. So we got Batwoman right up front, right here. We got, I believe her name is The Question over here. And then we've got Alan Scott's Green Lantern. Sorry, I'm doing this without looking. We got Obsidian. We got Harley and Ivy over here. We got Nia up here. More in here in a second. Down here, we've got one of my new favorite characters that I've definitely talked about before. This is Jess Chambers. They're the future state version of the Flash, and they are non-binary. But yeah, I read this whole thing. They're all really great. There wasn't one that I disliked, and I've talked about this before, but this is the video on it, so I'm going to talk about it again because I just love it so much. This character is Dreamer. Her name is Nia Null, and her superhero name is Dreamer. She is a female transgender superhero, and she is from the Supergirl TV show. There was a superhero on the Legion of Superhero back in the day called Dream Girl, and this is the ancestor of Dream Girl. Essentially, Dream Girl lives, 500 years in the future or whatever. This is her ancestor. She is a female transgender superhero, and she is played by a, if I may, real-life female transgender superhero. Her name is Nicole Maines, and she wrote the Dreamer segment of this DC Pride comic. So the first time that Dreamer is canonically in the comics, and she is being written by the woman who portrays her in the TV show, which is just so cool to me. Another cool thing about this, in the back of the book, they have interviews, not with the writers of the book, but of the actors who are playing LGBT superheroes on the TV shows. So we've got Dreamer, we've got Batwoman. I'm not going to show them all just to save time. We've got John Constantine, but we've also got Negative Man from Doom Patrol. So it's not just Arrowverse, which is really cool. I was very excited about these. These are, this is an 80-pager, as it were. But that's not the only month that was celebrated recently. June may have been Pride Month, but May was Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month, and DC did a 100-page special for that. It's called the Festival of Heroes, DC Festival of Heroes, the Asian Superhero Celebration. So this is the same deal. Asian American Pacific Islander superheroes being written and drawn by Asian American and Pacific Islander writers and artists. So we've got Cassandra Cain's Batgirl, we've got Emiko Queen's Red Arrow, We got Kong Keenan's new Superman. And we've also got a brand new character. His name is the Monkey Prince. There's him right there. If I can get a... Yeah, there's him right there. The Monkey Prince. He's very cool, and I like him a lot. And this is his first appearance. So, essentially, he's a real-life ancestor of Sun Wukong, the mythological being. And he fights the same bad guys and hangs around the same general areas as Shazam, but he can't stand Shazam. The whole comic, he talks about how Shazam is this cocky white. Every other superhero is exactly like him. He's full of himself. All this, all that. But then this kid, takes off the superhero suit. He's a kid in high school. He goes to school and he's an outcast. He has barely any friends. His one friend is Billy Batson, who, as we all know, is secretly Shazam, and he doesn't know that. He's actually getting his own series. I believe they said, in October, I think. But I'm really looking forward to that. I did not know about that before reading this, just like I didn't know about Jess Chambers before reading Future State Justice League. And I can't wait. It was so fascinating to me. And something else that's cool, one of my favorite writers for comic books, her name is Mariko Tamaki. I believe she is bisexual. I could be wrong, but going off of memory, I'm pretty sure she's bisexual. If I'm wrong, it's on screen now. I apologize. But because she is of Asian American descent and LGBT, she was in both of these. So she got to write in the Festival of Heroes and the DC Pride event. So I thought that was really cool. Next up is something I've had my eye on for a while. This is Demon Days X-Men by Peach Momoko. And what's cool about this is Peach Momoko is a variant cover artist. If you don't know what that means, a variant cover is like a different cover other than the normal one. For example, this is the DC Pride cover, and this is the variant, the one that I was showing you guys with Poison Ivy and Harley Quinn. They're drawn by different artists, and Peach Momoko, her art is typically saved for variant covers. This book, Demon Days X-Men, was written and drawn by her. So it's one of, I believe, if not her first writing experience, and one of the only times I've seen that she's drawn the whole thing. I haven't read it yet. I've been very interested in it. It looks like a new, a retelling of some characters you like. It's called Demon Days X-Men, but I'm not quite sure who this person on the cover is. I'm guessing Psylocke because of the purple and the sword, but we've clearly got Venom up here. I know that the Hulk and Black Widow make an appearance in this. So I don't know. I'm really excited for that, but I love Peach Momoko's art, and when I found out that she was doing her own thing, I had to get it. And this issue, I don't know if this is something that normally happens, because I haven't seen it that much, but this came with the digital edition. So I was able to go on the Marvel site and download a digital copy of it for free. So I'm probably going to read that because I like reading digital comics more, and also I won't have to bend this one at all. And then we have Harley Quinn, Black and White and Red. So this one is really interesting. This was a collection of one-offs that were released weekly for about 14 weeks, digital only. So they never printed these until this book. Some of them are continuations of other series. There's a issue that is a continuation of Harleen. There's one in here that bridges the gap between Curse of the White Knight and White Knight Presents Harley Quinn, which I thought was the best one in the whole thing. There's a new one that they didn't print digital at the back, which I'm excited to get into. But yeah, if you can... It's really hard. You can sort of tell it. See how there's some gray writing behind the red writing? It's because it says Batman. It says Batman Black and White. But it's sort of like, haha, I'm Harley Quinn. I took your thing. Now it's Harley Quinn Black, White, and Red. And I have failed to mention the coolest part about this. I'm so sorry. All the artwork is done with only those colors. Only red, black, and white. Every issue. No matter the art style, no matter the artist. It is all red, black, and white. And, some grays or whatever, but we all know what black and white means. And then last but not least, I wanted to talk about two comics that I've been reading digital only that I don't have in my hands to show you. I finally finished Death Metal. I finished Dark Knight's Death Metal. It was good. It was really good. It definitely drags in the middle. The side stories were my favorite part. The beginning, issue 1 of Death Metal, and most of the side stories were my favorite parts when they get into when they think it's the end of the world and what everyone is doing with their time, and they get into the different Batmen again, how they came to be. But at the end of the day, and maybe this is just because there was more of it, so there was more to like or dislike, but at the end of the day, I think I still like Dark Knight's Metal better. I know that's kind of weird, because for all intents and purposes, Death Metal should be better. I should like it better, and maybe it is better. Who knows? Other people could have different opinions than me, of course. But at the end of the day, thinking back on both stories, I think I prefer Dark Knight's Metal to Dark Knight's Death Metal. But both are really, really good. I wanted to talk about Life is Strange. This is, I believe, a comic series I have not talked about before. They are, of course, based off the Life is Strange games, but they are based off the first Life is Strange game, the ones with Max and Chloe. They are, believe it or not, a continuation of the bad ending. So there's 2 endings to Life is Strange. I'm not going to spoil anything, but there's essentially a canonical ending and a non-canonical ending. The comic books take place. The comic book series picks up where the non-canonical ending left off. So the entire comic book is non-canon. But it's really good, and they've been on hiatus for a bit, and they just announced that they're going to finish it. So they've been releasing them in sets of 4, and the 4th one just came out and is, finished, and I've read it already. They're going to do 2 more sets, making it a total of 6 sets of 4. So when everything is said and done, there's going to be exactly 24 issues of Life is Strange comics. I'm very excited. They said that the last couple issues, or they said the last issue is going to be heart-wrenching, and I am nervous about that because there's something that happens in issue 4 that, I'm not ashamed to admit this, made me cry for 9 straight minutes. Usually, I cry a lot at things that are supposed to be sad, like endings of movies and stuff, but usually once the thing is over, I'm done crying with it. But I was gone, dude. I was crying for 9 minutes. It was a big deal. I'm nervous what this comic's gonna do to me, but I am sad that I am happy that it's ending. I know that's sort of a weird thing to say, but I feel like the direction that the story's going in, I feel like it's going to be a very solid, readable 24 issues when it's all said and done. Like I think that an ending is going to need to happen because sometimes comic books just peter out. But I think if this one is going to end, it's going to end at the right time, and I think that it's going to have a great ending based on what I've heard. So I'm excited for that. That probably won't, because Part 5 isn't even out yet. Part 5 is going to drop next month, and then Part 6 will probably start dropping in October. So probably 2 more episodes of this show before I actually talk about the ending and we see how bad it ruins me. So the last thing I wanted to talk about was sort of a bit of news. Digital comics seem to be not dying, not going away, but they're definitely everything's kind of colliding together. I'll explain what I mean. So a month or 2 ago, I got an email from Archie Comics, and they were essentially like, hey, we're closing down the Archie Comics digital app. We are sorry. We apologize. We can't refund you, but here's a bunch of free comics that you can just have. And from this point on, all of our comics are going to be on Comixology. You can buy them there. We're not done making comics. We're just done distributing them digitally. And at first I was disappointed, but then that catalog that they gave out for free was literally their entire catalog, which was crazy. It was a lot of classic Archie and basically every single issue of modern Archie and Sabrina that there is. So I was fine with that. But then a couple weeks ago, I get another email from DC. And now DC is saying that they are closing their digital storefront, which was less of a big deal because Comixology has their account linked with Marvel and DC. So if you buy a comic on any of those 3 apps, it will show up in your Comixology library. So this was already not a big deal. If DC Comics, if the DC digital storefront shut down literally right now, I would be fine. Like I don't have to prepare anything. But it is interesting that this is happening. It really feels like Comixology, which is an Amazon distributed app, is like consuming all of these other digital comic book apps. And I don't know if I should be concerned. Each time that these apps have contacted me and they're like, hey, we're shutting down, they've told me go to Comixology. So even if the Marvel one it shuts down too, I'm sure I'll get the same thing. I'm sure it'll be like, hey, Marvel's shutting down, go to Comixology. And if Comixology stays up, then I'm fine. I literally don't care. I'll just get all my digital comics there. I do it almost, I always do it there almost anyways. The part that does stink is that you can't use PayPal on Comixology because you can't use PayPal on Amazon for some reason. So you have to use a debit card or a credit card, which is a little annoying, but I can deal with it. But yeah, I will keep you updated if by the time my next episode of this comes out, which will be in August, and digital comics are dead, maybe we'll have a going away party or something. I don't know. But I think there's nothing to worry about. I'm basically talking to myself right now, but maybe there is. Who knows? But that'll do it for me. Thank you so much for watching. Happy Pride Month. And I know it's past, but happy Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. Click around our YouTube channel. We've got a bunch of stuff. We have podcasts, Let's Plays. We have a live stream over on Twitch. Whatever you're into, we probably have it. We have video essays. We have skits. We have a bunch of stuff. It's not all video game related. It's not all comic book related. Most of it's not comic book related. So poke around the channel. See if you want to consider subscribing. And until next time, I've been Thunder, and I'll catch you guys later. Thank you for listening and watching, and if you like what you see, please be sure to subscribe.
Our channel is daily uploads from podcasts to video essays, Let's Plays to skits.
Be sure to find us on Twitch and Patreon.
Our theme song is Sunny Day by Froggy and the Friendship, and our Let's Play intro is Sunny Bit by the same band.
Link to all these in the description below. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time.